drone guys today. We're checking out the AR.Drone 2.0 from Parrot. This is quite possibly the world's most different drone. Very different than your typical drone. But you'll kind of see that as we go. And we're going to start off by just kind of doing some simple flying and hovering indoors in the drone guy's laboratory here. I've already got it powered up and paired to my iPhone 6 here. It is pretty easy to pair up with any phone, any smartphone. You can see it's got two different holes, an indoor flying, which is this one down here, and an outdoor hole here. We'll set the outdoor one aside for now, and we'll slip this on. So you just slide the front camera in there, tuck the battery, and there's a little magnet in the back that kind of pulls down the hole. We're going to keep it facing this direction so it's a little bit easier to fly. Okay, we'll go check out some of the menu options now. You get to your settings there, and there's several screens to scroll through. Let's see. So first off, we're going to not worry about flipping. You know, you might be confused. It says GPS update on here, implying that this drone comes with GPS. It actually does not, shockingly. So some of the limits here. So I've got it set to maximum vertical speed, 3 meters altitude. That's fine given we're flying inside. And some of these other settings for max speeds. A pretty aggressive max tilt there. The outdoor hole is off. You know, if we were flying outside, we'd put on the other hole and put that on. And outdoor flight is off. So we've got joypad mode on. So this is going to simulate a typical remote where you have two controls, and left-handed. Always do left-handed. That's how most remotes come. So you're going to want your throttle and rotation of the drone on your left hand, and going forward, back, left, right on the right hand. And we're gonna, this iPhone tilt is ignored because we're in joypad mode. So you can also move around by tilting your phone. So you always want to verify that you have all the correct settings, because it really changes how this thing flies. So one thing that is cool about this drone, you know, it's probably the world's most advanced in some ways, is the stability is controlled a lot with these two sensors on the bottom. These are ultrasonic sensors. You can judge how close you are to the ground, and presumably maybe some tilt information there in addition to accelerometers and gyroscopes. And there's a little downward facing camera there. You want to make sure that's exposed and it's not covered up by something. And that presumably it uses, you know, how quickly things are moving in the view of that camera also to aid with stability. And you will see when this is working properly, it is really the most stable indoor flying drone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to press the takeoff button and hope for the best. Okay, so I haven't done anything yet. You can pan it around a little bit. And I'm not touching anything. Pretty stable. Let's see if we can spin it around without crashing it. Oh boy. Alright, let's hit the landing button. Alright, well, somehow we survived that. You know, it did get a little confused there for a while. Controlling a drone with on-screen joysticks could be part of the problem. It's not nearly as sensitive or responsive as a regular remote. But hopefully you've got a little bit of introduction now. We're going to take this outside and fly it outside next. Hey guys, we've moved outside. Just want to show you another little feature of this drone. You remember I said it has a downward facing camera. So you can see there that's looking through the bottom camera. That's a lower quality image than the front-facing camera. And there I've switched back. So if you do have this up, you can, and you want to see what the world looks like from up there, you can switch to that camera. So let's take it off out here. Let's go back to those settings. We're gonna put it on outdoor hole and outdoor flight. And we're gonna crank up the altitude a little bit. 9 meters is almost like 30 feet, so that'll be high enough. Get stuck in a tree. We'll go fastest vertical speed. We'll keep the tilt angle a little bit at 21 degrees instead of 30. That should be good enough. And let's see what happens. It's kind of breezy today, but we're gonna take it off and see how this can maneuver around. Whoa. So it is difficult to do some of the finer moves here. So I'm just going to let go and see what it does. So even in the wind, it is pretty stable. And again, it's not using GPS. It's only using its vision systems and ultrasonics. So we're going to fly it a little bit further now and see what it can do. I want to come around here, cameraman. And a complete loss of control for seemingly no reason. Alright, we're going to give it another shot. See if we get a slightly longer flight out of this guy. Lift it up a little. Okay, again, it's doing nice, stable. We'll spin it around a little bit. No problems so far. Oh boy. Come on back. It does spin nice and quickly. I'll give it that much. Wow. So you see how it loses control, complete loss of stability sometimes whenever it kind of tilts too much. We're going to take it left and right a little bit.
Is that maybe a setting we can adjust so it doesn't tilt so much?
I mean, here you can see going left to right pretty good. It's losing some altitude, but pretty good. And that's, I got it all the way over. And let's try the same thing going forward and back. Okay, so that's where it really struggles, is it wants to fall backwards.
All right, there we go. I've never flown this drone, so we're gonna give it a try. I'm not a big fan of drones you have to fly with a phone. Let's see what it does. Take off. It does just that. It takes off. A little bit of throttle. Go forward.
Here comes the backflip. Oh. Don't land it on my head.
Let's bring it down a little bit. Kind of getting used to the... I do like the stability. Just kind of will... The picture is pretty good.
Yeah, so there's no lag in the Wi-Fi, which is different than a lot of Wi-Fi drones.
I mean, you could fly this thing if you were skilled. A little lower. I like. Notice it goes up, you know, it loses altitude when you shift it. And then it kind of hovers right back up to where it was. Not quite, but...
See how quickly can you make it climb?
Not very quickly at all.
Alright, I don't... Hopefully we don't end up on the roof there.
Well, I actually don't remember which way was forward. Let's bring it down. That was odd. Cut out emergency, it says.